Gumbo is a double-edged sword. It can be the absolute best pond sealer there is, but only under certain conditions. Only if it's... Hey guys, Capper here. Welcome back. So we got to talk about pond building today. Not that I'm an expert, because I am not, but I may have made a potentially fatal mistake on this pond. So this is gumbo clay that you see right here. It's soft. It's like clay, like pottery clay, and I've used it in deer ponds galore and never had a problem with it. It's always been moist, and I've always been able to compact it in the core trenches that I have built. So anyways, I had my friend Scott from Doyle Excavation over the other day, and we went over the dirts, and he's like, he doesn't use gumbo. I'm like, what do you mean you don't use it? I built the whole core trench and the whole dam with it. He's like, uh-oh. He's like, yeah, no. So I had got the gumbo, the first probably 4 feet of dirt below the black dirt was gumbo. And so I already had the dam built. It was 12, 14 feet high when he came over. And so I started scraping below the gumbo, and there's this layer. I forgot what he called it. It's basically garbage dirt. He goes, man, this stuff will not hold a pond. He's like, you got to have red clay under here. He's seen some red clay mixed in. He goes, this is the hard pan. He's like, keep digging. Get through this hard pan. I'll wait, So he stayed there and watched me dig for a while, and getting through the hard pan was not easy. I mean, I could only just skim like an inch maybe with that big machine. So I skimmed, got about 2 feet, and finally broke through the hard pan. You could feel it, when you break through. Honestly, in the machine, it's a good feeling because you're sitting there basically scraping concrete until you bust through the hard pan. Sure enough, below the hard pan, there was beautiful red clay. And he said that he only uses red clay for these ponds. Now, in this case, there's no way, I don't know how I could have used red clay, because literally the pond would have had to be 20 feet deep plus. Because by the time you hit the red clay, you've already pushed out like literally mountains and mountains of the black dirt, the gumbo, and then the crummy layer. So there's no way there would have been enough of the red clay. So we got to talking about the gumbo, and then I Googled it, and I feel a lot better afterwards. Basically, gumbo is a double-edged sword. It can be the absolute best pond sealer there is, but only under certain conditions. Only if it's moist and you get it compacted. And then you also have to cover it up, because what the gumbo does is it's like pottery clay, but when it dries, it gets cracks, big wide cracks. And so let's say you had gumbo on your pond dam, and your pond was filling up, but it was baking dry, and you got big cracks in there. Well, that could lead to leaks in your pond. So they say for gumbo, which actually, if you do it right, it's the best pond sealer there is. If you build your core trench and your dam with gumbo, as long as you cover it up, well, first you got to compact it. As long as you get it compacted, and then you cover it up so it doesn't dry out. It doesn't matter really what you cover it with. In my case, I use red clay on the inside and on the top, and then I'm going to use black dirt. They say if you get it right, it's the best pond dam sealer, and it will basically be infinite once it's sealed up if you got it compacted right. So now I feel better, but I'm going to combine 2 episodes today. So the gumbo I'm scraping, I'm placing on the pond dam and building it up in lifts and compacting it, and then I'm going to have to take that middle layer and scrape it and put it to the back of the dam. So there's a lot of dirt work coming up, but let's get into today's episode. I think it's day 3 and 4 combined. Let's check it out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, this is when Scott came over. So I was really lucky. It was a fortuitous timing, because I had him come look at the black dirt. But he's like, hey, I'm an excavator. I love watching people work. Let me see you work. And then we got to talking about the gumbo and that. And then he had me dig down past the gumbo. This is gumbo you see here. You see how it looks nice and clay-like? Well, that's gumbo. So I don't know if I got it on film, but I got the red of the gumbo. Then I got this other layer of, I don't know, shale or whatever he called it. And then I had to get about 18 inches. That's the hard pan, or give or take, maybe 2 feet to bust through. And then I got through the really nice orange and red clay. Even being partially colorblind, I could see it. So that's what's I'm going to be using for the next 2 or 3 phases of finishing this pond, is the red clay. But anyways, thanks to Scott for being there. I appreciate the tips and the info. Let's keep going. All right, here we're going to do a time lapse. I let it run for almost an hour, but you could see the gumbo that I'm working with. It's called gumbo because that's the first thing you think of when you grab a chunk of clay like that. So this is what it looks like, peeling off the gumbo and adding layers on the core trench, because that's where I'm at right now. And the gumbo goes, 3 feet under the ground as well.
Got a deed to a patch of ground where the Ozark Hills roll down. Gonna pour my sweat and my soul in the dirt, give this piece of heaven all it's worth. Oh, I'm building up a whitetail dream by the hickory and the crystal stream. Planting plover, hanging a stand, the best deer property in the land. Clearing trails with the trusty saw, whipping a pond, laying down the law. This ain't just a hunt, it's a sanctuary for the bucks to grow big and legendary. Oh, I'm building up a whitetail dream.
Alright, it's a little sketchy. I got 4 foot high of piled clumps. So I try to flatten it a little bit on my way through for the first pass. Now we're finally starting to get a little height on the dam. To where if it rained right now, we might hold 2 feet of water maybe in the pond. And now I'm building up the backside. That dirt, I'm gonna end up just having to use it, because this dam is just gonna be huge. Hey guys, thanks for sticking with me this far. Here's a preview on the pond. I'm almost done with the groundwork, so if you like this stuff, please hit the like button, leave me a comment. I'm just a one-man guy with a dream and a track hoe. But it's been a week of solid work, but it's almost done. So stay tuned for the coming episodes. Thanks a lot. For this size pond, so I'm gonna end up just blending that dirt into it. I might even have to push the dirt back a little when I get my dam over to it. They're calling for rain in like 3 days, with some possibility tonight, but pop-ups usually aren't too bad. Should start going faster now that I'm working closer to the dam. So that's it. I'm making it wider this way now, even though this is technically the core trench. Otherwise, if you make it wider on the inside, you lose water area. Now it's looking like something. It's amazing, all of them big giant clay clumps squished down to about maybe a foot.
planting clover, hanging a stand, the best deer property in the land. More than antlers on the wall, it's watching the fawns come spring and fall. Yeah, the best in the land, yeah, right here in the Ozarks, my white-tailed dream.
Alright, so now on the entire bottom, I hit a crummy layer with a little bit of rocks, but it's dry and it's brown, and so now we got a rainstorm that might be coming. Hopefully it's just a pop-up. So I'm scabbing what little bit of good clay I got left. I only need about another 12 or so inches of sealing clay. So I'm desperate now. I'm just skimming what I got up next to the dam, because it's still good clay, before I hit that crummy layer. Today is just pop-ups, storms, but in 3 days, 2 or 3 days, we're supposed to get some big ones. So I've been really pumping it. Right now I got it to where it would hold maybe 4 feet of water. So I got a couple, 2-3 feet to go at least. And I'm going to be digging in that rocky, that kind of crummier stuff. But it is what it is. I can't change, what's in the bottom. If it don't want to hold, we could do something like bentonite in that or that. But the pond dam, I'm very, very confident in. This is all good clay. Soft, packing, solid clay. So if the bottom leaks, we'll have to do something different, but we'll find out in the future. So I'm just winding down for the day, scabbing clay. I'm gonna get that. I just ran the laser for the 3rd time. I know where I'm at, and I know where I need to be. So it's been another big day today of progress, for sure. Just building this dam up, man. It's slow and steady. I'm gonna measure this pond, but this thing's darn near a ½ acre, I bet. Looking at it. Big boy pond. You can see my inner wall starting to get steep and tall now. Alright, this might be the last check-in for today. We'll see if we get rain. I hope we don't get a lot if we do. I'm totally screwed if this thing fills up 2 feet of water. Oh, the taller we get, the sketchier this is up on all this loose clay clumped up. Your dam gets smaller the taller you get. Oh, sheesh. Take it easy. This is the low spot down here. It always is, but it's pronounced. You got a little catch-up work to do down here. Birds. Oh, not falling. So my plan is, once I get the part that needs to seal all clay high enough, then I'll start digging that rocky chunk and bring it over to the backside. So the core trench will still be intact. So I'm just about out of clay right now. I'm down to this rocky dirt, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to go. I might need some on the top. You take a little risk at the high level, but the pressure up there at the top of the dam is nothing like at the bottom. And I got this thing really nice and wide with lots of good clay. Looking a little better.